Welcome to Wild Siberia. Today we're outside in one of my wild lakes. I'm going to be working on it, making a beach. I'll be showing you all that later, but while I'm working, I'm going to be talking about why Siberia is the new frontier for freedom and happiness. So join me today on this beautiful, beautiful day. This hill that I'm squatting on is gravel. And why is there gravel here? Well, behind the camera, there's a train road, a railroad that goes to the marble mine. Now, when I say we're in the wilderness, there's obviously a road behind me, but it is the only road that goes into Sludanka. If you don't know, I live in a very eastern or central Siberian town, and the only way into this town is through this one road. And the Trans-Siberian Railroad connects through these train tracks, connecting us to the rest of Russia. Here you can see one of the other lakes on the other side. This lake actually feeds Lake Baikal. Lake Baikal is behind that tree line. I will be showing you Lake Baikal on another video, but today it's time to get to work and move this gravel and create our own beach on this small wild lake. The name of this lake is called Horseshoe Lake. I named it, and it's going to be one of my go-to places for this summer. Just to give you an idea of how big this mound is, it towers over my head. I'm actually standing on a small surface that I've already created. You can see the lake turns like a U shape, and it leads to this beautiful front. It's gonna be amazing. I'm going to try my best to get as much done today. My goal is to make the beachhead here, extend it maybe 2 meters by the end of today, maybe 1 meter. But I have a lot of gravel to move, so let's get started. I want to give a special thank you and a shout out to Survival Russia. You guys know he's a great friend of mine. We recorded many videos together. And thanks to him, I dress in my Gorka suit and I have that cool stuff back in the background. Thank you, Lars. I'm starting to build the beach there. I want it to extend much further out because when you step at the edges, of course, the water will take the gravel and you'll start sinking. So we have a lot of material to work with. I have a lot left to go. Now, before I continue, I want to talk about one reason why Siberia is a new frontier for freedom. Well, you know, there's a lot of people coming from around the world, and the most known men and women that settle in Russia are probably in Siberia. Siberia has a lot of territory, has a lot of places like this where you can go out and enjoy your life. You can start farming, you can start, I don't know, living in a cabin if you want. And Siberia offers that. Just the name Siberia makes my heart pound a little bit harder because it is such a special place. And I think that the name alone attracts a lot of people. And if you know me, the reason why I came to Russia was to test myself in Siberia. So let's continue on this work. And I'll continue to test my 90-year-old shoulder that I ruined in the Afghanistan war against this Russian gravel. If anybody wants to come help, I have a lot of projects around Horseshoe Lake. And if you're anywhere near Sludanka, I welcome you this summer if you want to work on some of these projects with me. I do enjoy being outside in nature, and having friends outside doing things with you is even better. I want to make the beach a little bit bigger than the shovel all the way across so that we can walk comfortably here without falling in. So here it's almost ready and I have to complete it all the way to the other side. I believe that in summer this is going to be a very good place to make shashlik, you know, barbecue here. Even if you're not catching any fish, this water actually is very clean. It's much cleaner than another lake that I know across. And if you're wondering, you know, my style of shoveling, well, why I'm using it like I'm paddling a boat. I was in the United States Marine Corps, right? And I was a combat engineer. So my job was to do digging, demolition, you know, breaking obstacles. I'll show you a photo of how I looked when I was digging in Afghanistan. You know, an interesting fact about Afghanistan is that we did a lot of fighting in trenches or wadis and dried up canals. So we basically dug a lot. it was very unusual not to be digging in whenever you were in another operation. And a lot of our defensive positions actually used dirt. Here's a photo of me and my best friend Skavaniki in Afghanistan. We're standing in front of a fortress that we built. Inside of those squares in the background, we filled them with dirt. Now, if we can't bring a heavy equipment operator to fill them with his machine, we have to do it by shovel. And it's a pain in the ass. So, obviously, I have a little bit of experience digging, right? But not on gravel like this. Afghanistan was basically, we call it moon dust. It was powder, sand, dirt, mostly camel poo that dried up over thousands of years. Yeah, I'm very happy that this is going very well. I expected it to be much harder than this, but once I get my rhythm, you know, I'll have this all done and ready, and I could set up the fishing rod. I know there's maybe no fish here, but I just like to do it just to get in that mental state of relaxation. When I'm done setting this side of the beach up, I'm actually gonna put a fishing rod out. Well, I've secured the beach head on this side. I'm gonna show you what it looks like, but I can comfortably set this shovel down and it'll have maybe half a meter to extend. So this is the perfect size. Let's show you what it looks like. There you see how much space the shovel has. So that's a lot of room to walk. I can comfortably stand on the edge and I won't fall into the lake. I have a little seat there. And of course, the gravel will fall with time, but we can always just fix it. Right now, I want to cut some wild weeds and put them in the back so that it looks more comfortable and nice. By the way, guys, here in Russia, there's these ticks that can really harm you. I haven't been vaccinated, but there is vaccines against it. And, you know, if you're scared, don't go out. If you're confident knowing the terrain that you're in, like me, you can go ahead and do all of this with precaution. Now, the reason why I'm getting these dry weeds is I want to put it on my backing so I could put my things down comfortably so they don't get wet or they don't get so dirty. So I'll show you what that's going to look like right after I'm done. Now I can comfortably put my back there on the gravel. I'm going to start setting up my line here. I'm going to be fishing with these. I've never really fished with this. It's not my style. You know, I fish for pike and perch, shuka y okun. But this is basically my attempt to learn how to fish like this. I don't expect to catch any fish. And yes, I am sunburned because I've been out so many days since I got back to Sludanka. Like I said, now that my bed is set, I'm gonna set up the fishing rod and I'm gonna put a little pole here to hold my rod. It's gonna be amazing when I'm done, and then we can continue talking about why Siberia is the new place for freedom and happiness. You know, I said I usually fish for pike and perch. I know I'm not going to catch anything, so I'm just practicing for the day that I do go fishing where something will bite on this type of stuff. Now let's throw the line. It's time to cast. I'm so excited. I've set my little fishing rod holder here, but let's get out there and not catch anything. All right, then we just set our rod down. And that's pretty much it for now for the fishing rod and the fishing. Now let's talk about Siberia. Fighting with mosquitoes. There goes another one. Guys, you know, the reason why to me I think that Siberia is the most attractive is, just like I said before, like the things I'm doing now, making a part of something that's only mine. A lot of people may come around here, but they're not going to disrespect my camping site. Nobody is going to mess with what I've created. And if they come here, they might add on to it, make it better perhaps. but they're not going to ruin what I've created. One look at the camp. Just a good day out here. A mirror image on the mountains. Look at that. And honestly, I think that a lot of people miss that. Of course, I could have had that in the United States. A lot of people say, well, why didn't you go to like the middle of nowhere America? Well, listen, I could have done it. I still can. You know, the future is not written completely for me in Russia. Perhaps I'll leave. Maybe I'll stay for the rest of my life. But right now, this is a paradise for me. I enjoy being able to say, you know, I am a Siberian, because being a Siberian is not being born here, but it is being thriving here. It is surviving here, making your life here. This is what makes you. We have a saying in Spanish. In northern Spain, we say, "A donde hieres, haz lo que vieres." So where you go, do as you see. And I completely have embraced myself in this culture. I have embraced this land, and I have become just another person in this town. I really believe that to disconnect from, you know, your everyday life, nature is the biggest remedy. I've offered many times to many people, you know, come visit me in Baikal, come visit me in Sludanka. I've had some people come, right? But I want to take you fishing. I want to show you Baikal now that it's all melted, now that spring has arrived. I want to be able to show somebody, in case I ever leave this place, I want to give somebody a great memory like this place has given me. Guys, I don't know if you can see it, but that little black dot there is the first confirmed fish in Horseshoe Lake. Oh gosh. And right over there is the second little fish. Look at, I mean, there's no way, perhaps you can't see it, but there they are. They're grouping. Unbelievable. You know, those cars that are passing behind, you won't be able to see them in spring, like when it comes and everything blossoms in summer. That will all be covered up by birch trees. The leaves will grow, everything will grow, and you will just be stuck in this paradise. And you know, I'm fishing now, but it's not about the catch. It's actually just about seeing if the fish are healthy, if there's anything in this lake. I want to stock it with perch so that I can come, and maybe if I have to eat something one day, if I'm really, really hungry and I have nothing, I can feed from the lake that I've taken care of, because I do pick up the trash. I do maintain this place. Guys, please comment down below if you have such lakes where you live, if you're able to disconnect. I'm very curious. You know, a lot of people in America, they obviously do have the land and the nature to do this kind of stuff. I know a lot of Russians like to disconnect. Whether you're Russian, whether you're outside of Russia, anywhere in the world, please do comment down below if this is something that you enjoy, if this is something you would like to do, and if you would be interested in visiting Siberia. I always ask for comments because I read 100% of them. And I try to answer 100% of them because the channel is still small. We are, of course, almost at 10,000 subscribers, but it's still a small community. And I enjoy communicating with you guys. I enjoy letting you know what my life is like here, because it is something that not a lot of people get to see. I've showed you videos of Irkutsk, Novosibirsk, Kirov. I've shown you these cities, but this is where I actually live. This is the lifestyle that I like to live. I'm going to spend about 40 minutes to an hour more just looking at nature, listening to the birds sing. I saw a muskrat swim across this lake, and a couple ducks landed but left because I'm too loud. So I'm just going to enjoy and lay down, maybe sleep. It's going to be a great morning. You must understand also that Siberia is not only villages and towns, it has large cities. I've made actually videos about Novosibirsk, Irkutsk, you know, like these cities are massive. Novosibirsk is growing every day. You have Omsk, you have Krasnoyarsk, you have Barnaul, you have all these cities in Siberia that are growing every day. By the way, if you want to see my videos on these cities, I'm going to put timestamps up here on this side. You can click them and go watch those videos. I can also link them down below. But Siberia is not just, you know, farmland. It's major cities, and there's a lot of job opportunities. A lot of people are going to Novosibirsk. It's growing every day. And you know what? I personally believe that Irkutsk is also a very attractive city. It is a place where you can find universities like the BRICS universities. A lot of people come to study here. Some of my best friends are actually from faraway places. Please do consider subscribing if you enjoyed this kind of video, or if you enjoy anything to do with Russia or Siberia, just traveling. I do all of that. I do talks, conversations. Please do like this. It does help the channel grow. I don't ask for it often, but you know, as we are getting near to 10,000 subscribers, I believe that if you like and comment, subscribe, it helps this channel grow, and it lets other people see, you know, Russia is actually a nice place. Siberia is a beautiful place for everybody. I hope to bring you more videos like this, but for now, it's goodbye from the shores of Baikal, and we'll see you on the next one. You're welcome to check out the previous video on top and the travel playlist on the bottom. Thanks.